Brussels at the cable company. They keep trying to get us to buy more.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is now on. Stone Soup is live, streaming on YouTube as we speak. The name of the show is October 26th. If you look for it later on YouTube, it just simply says October 26th. Navah the Buddaphliii features at Stone Soup, and she's here tonight. Let's give her a round of applause. The louder it is, the more she feels good later when she's playing the back. For those of you who have come here for the first time, I thank you. For those of you who have returned, of course, I thank you just as much, if not more. But we always want new blood. We always want people to experience Stone Soup for the first time and to give their perspectives, their words. For those of you coming in, I'll take care of the dog. For those of you coming in late, Stone Soup meets every Monday night, now from 7 to 9 at the Out of the Blue Art Gallery, which is now in its proper place in Central Square in Cambridge. And 1 second, get out of here. The dog's got my lunch. Anyway, yes, the Out of the Blue Art Gallery, where we have dogs and art. Somehow it does not collide and cause complete entropy to happen. At least not until about 5 seconds ago. Thanks a lot, girl. The Out of the Blue is located in Central Square proper. After having been in a number of locations circling Central Square, we're here and hopefully here to stay. Check out the Kickstarter page for the Out of the Blue Art Gallery to see if you want to help and assist and maybe even take part, take an active role as they continue to strive for nonprofit status, which will benefit not just the gallery, but artists all around the city and Cambridge and beyond very, very much. So again, we meet at Stone Soup here every Monday night from 7 to 9. The open mic sign-up is about 6:30. The open mic starts now. Feature will be later. We're going to welcome back one of our old friends who has been, after a little bit of a leave of absence, is back. I sent him an email asking if he was going to come by, and he didn't even get it, but he's here now. Proof that poets are psychic. You got it. Let's welcome back our orator extraordinaire, Mr. John Sturm.
Well, given the full moon and the proximity to what works with full moons, what should I do?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Once upon a midnight
There you go.
weary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, slowly napping. Suddenly there came a tapping as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember. It was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. But now to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. The silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, merely this, nothing more. Back into my chamber turning, oh, my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery to explore. My heart beat still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, nothing more. Open here, I flung the shutter. Quick, and it flirt and flutter. In there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance making, not a minute stopped or stayed, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the continent it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help to read that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, never more. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant me croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to that fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining, that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume of an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee. Rest it, and nepenthe thee from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Then the bird said, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil. Whether a tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven.
Dude, what part of nevermore do you not understand?
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil. By that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven,
Jesus,
Nevermore.
Mary and Joseph, I'll say it
Be
again.
that murder, sign and part,
Nevermore.
murder, fiend, I shrieked up starting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven,
Nevermore, dog.
and the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, and his eyes have all the seam of a demon carried, and the lamplight orange stream throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
What do you expect? What do you expect of birds from a sad poem? Tweety Pie from Warner Brothers? Hi, Mom.
Thank you for John, and cameo appearance or guest appearance as Chris Rock, the Raven. We're going to bring up next to the open mic. We're already getting into strange territory, boys and girls. And it's only us don't see what you can honestly say after each person, and now for something completely different and have it be completely true. Let's bring up next musical guest, Mr. Terry Jones. Woo! Really? I thought you were bringing the drum. That's what I said. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Give me 1 second, please. How's everyone doing?
Very good.
Today is my birthday. So, very happy to be here. This poem is one of my favorites. It's called My People. So when you hear me say My People, repeat after me and put the peace sign in the air, okay? My people are profoundly connected. My people do some of the dumbest shit and come off the stunt so respected. My people will let you have it and will straight up take it back. My people are so smooth, my people can be so whack. My people, I can't hear you. My people are crooks, chefs, and politicians. My people love to test your skills, you better watch as they listen. My people are singers, artists, poets, dancers, and writers. My people. Those people are the best lovers, friends, and fighters. My people, everyday people, because everybody got a little light up under the sun, and I love my people. Yes, my people, together we will continue to kick the struggle in the ass, even when this poem is finished, done, and when the race of the people, shaking and baking the people, awakening the people, seeking to never fake the people. My people. We make the world go round. I love how y'all surround my lyrics. Sending the energy to the tip of the top of the very first pillar. My people.
My people.
Let's live long. My people.
My people.
Let's get around to the break of dawn when the night comes. Dance with the silence and let your mind make beautiful love to your dreams. My people. Peace. You wanna do something with me, Chris?
Huh?
You little warm up.
You guys want me to?
You need a mic. You need a mic.
I don't think I need a mic.
Come on.
I'll do it.
Oh.
Can I do it from here or
Yeah.
you guys see it?
You better join me. This is documented. This is going on the tube, baby. Snap your fingers, everyone. Give me your L.
L.
Give me your O.
O.
Give me your B.
B.
To the E.
E.
Say love.
Love.
Say love.
Love.
Say love.
Love.
And it goes a little something like this. Here's a funky little thing we call the love movement. With the funky vibe that's so nice and soothing. I know you feel it deep inside, so keep the party moving. Moving, yeah. It's we a little kinky thing we call the love movement. With the funky vibe that's so nice and soothing. I know you feel it deep inside, so keep the party moving.
Yo.
Well, here's the part of the show where your fears disappear. All you unfunky ones gather close, get real near, don't be scared. We're here to relieve all your stress, inspiration, creation, and baby. And nonetheless, I feel that funky one with that new flavor juice. Better get deep inside and do that thing to you. And if you come to talk some shit, you're dealing with the wrong tribe. Everybody come to party, spread love tonight. Here's the funky thing we call the love movement. With the funky vibe that's so nice and soothing. I know you feel it deep inside, so keep the fingers snapping. Moving, yo. Thank you. Y'all can say happy birthday. That's one more. Go ahead.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Happy birthday, dear
Jones, funky
Thank you.
What did you say? Happy birthday
to you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my.
And many more.
Up next, let's give it up for Martha Boss. Martha, come on!
Hey, to be in love and war. I'm not sure who I am if I'm in love, or I do know for sure who I am when I'm in love. I ask my pen for answers. It has black magic. Especially in the morning and the light dawns and it wisecracks and says, "Who are you?" And then I have to look for me via the pen, and it has its fun giving me the runaround. It says, love can be found via a search engine, or there's love at first sight on a keyboard. My pen knows how ethereal that is, and then lets me play around with definitions. If love is tangible, body to body, it takes over, and then it takes over, and then takes over again and again, and manipulates and caresses and declares itself until it makes me sick and scared. And then I might resort to fighting, which is easier, and turns into war. And that ramps up love. Notice how somebody hugs somebody when they're going to a war. Then they're absolutely madly in love. And then when the war's over, nobody's sure who they are. Then you're sure and you're not sure, but you know you're not, and you know you don't know. And it starts all over again with a confusing, and finally that's all it is, confusing. My pen rests. Love loves attention. Love loves to be talked about. My pen is out of ink, but it reminds me of sometimes love is sometimes love is hard to hold. Sometimes a kiss can't be fixed. The oldest story ever told. The lips, the eyes, the garden dries. And rain is a mix of tears and lies. A flood, an avalanche, a mountain stripped cold, a lonely moon, a stifled cry. Sometimes love is a photo of the feeling, yellowed, old, too soon, an unrecorded sigh.
We're doing certain people first, regardless of where you were placed on the open mic, because some people do have to leave a little early. At the same time, we are trying to keep this tight because we do have a show that's going to be coming on after us. We'll probably have some time to clean up, but we want to keep this moving right along. So we have, I think, 2 more people on the open mic. Then we're going to have Navah the Buddaphliii feature, and then we're going to go back to the open mic. Oh, and as an added bonus, we have cake tonight because it's Rachel Eisenberg's birthday tonight. So, but let's say it's everyone's birthday tonight. So, but thank you, Rachel, for the cake. She deserves the credit. Wave, Rachel. There you go.
Hey.
And she brought cake, so everyone wins. But regardless of where your place is on the open mic.
I
So,
don't want to be another year older though, Jack.
what's that?
I don't want to be another year older yet. I like being.
Fair
To
enough.
go backwards.
I stopped counting at 23. Anyway, let's bring up next to the open mic. She was the feature for last week's Stone Soup Poetry. You can also catch her show on the live stream. And not content to rest on our laurels, she is here today, continuing to perform, to read. Let's welcome up Miss Hannah Brown.
I'm so mad. I did not consent to this. But I love Navah like no love has been known before, so I'm gonna do it. Alright. And this poem is not for her, but yeah. No, I'm not gonna preface it. Screw that. Okay. One day I'd say we'll look back on this, on how we looked each other in the eyes for 6 straight minutes, in perfect silence. How there were hammock smiles falling from our cheeks. How the streets seemed to sound horns to spark orchestras for your cheekbones, for our noses embedded in each other's necks, nestled. How we wrestled I love yous beneath tongues like genie carpets, tongues bracing to be more like carpets, to be heavy, to hold back until the right time, and how even as we tried to hide them, slivers of smiles hung from our cheeks like lopsided second hands, the only kind of time we knew how to read, because time is an arc. It don't explain things perfect. We ask it to be straight, streamlined, concrete, but how does time explain how your jawline looks like a painting at that angle beneath my porch light at 8:43 on a Thursday night after I brought you to the Arboretum for the first time? How does time explain that I write about you more vividly within a month than I wrote in 4 years for someone once? How your sun gold-tipped the trees beneath that city skyline, held it there for what felt like a decade. You'd said you'd never seen Boston from this angle so clear. I said I would wrestle all your demons for a chance to touch your cheek. They say time heals, that it's a measure of sense. But what's time got to tell me that it can't tell my chest as she knocks for 6 full minutes, attempting to spell forever in Morse code, knocks like a fist knocking at the ground to raise the dead? What's time got to give except to bring me closer to the day when I can tell you, you look like the skyline from the Arboretum, like new angle on Old City, like gritty become breath. What's time got to give but to bring me closer to the day when you look back on this with eyes full of stars, When I can tell you you are a supernova. When I can finally tell you I'm in love with you.
This next person I don't think has ever read here before on Stone Soup's Open Mic, so I'm glad to close off the admittedly very the short first half of the open mic. Everyone will be addressed afterwards after the feature. There's going to be plenty enough time, and the live stream's going the whole time. Are we saying the hell with a break? I'm just bringing you on right after. That sounds like a great idea. Poetry's not for wimps. If there's anyone who came in the audience that really wants to read, we want to include your voice as well. So raise your hand as I'm walking around the back, and we'll definitely add you in. We'd love to hear from you. And let's welcome up someone else who I want to hear from now, James Dullen.
Hey y'all. I'm new to Boston. I just moved here about 2 weeks ago, and Navah's been one of my first contacts here, so she invited me out tonight.
That's what's up.
Yes. This is a newly memorized piece, so hopefully I have it down. Last night, sorry, messed up the first words. Okay, I got it. This morning, I picked my girlfriend's hair out of the shower. Yesterday, she flew home. We exist in these visits. We play domestic couple, dream of living in the same city, of waking to I love you. Talk about who won't be invited to the wedding. Create lifetimes and hypotheticals. I like the one with Kaya Lily. Gifted with her mother's eyes, I twist in Kaya's hair like her mother taught me, tight and under with 3 handfuls. Maybe before bedtime, pancakes on Sunday morning, blueberries and whipped cream. We have extravagant daydreams too. Imagine paying off college loans with lotto winnings, or houses we'd buy, or cities we'd visit. But in this one, I laugh and love like easy breath. 4 months in, fantasy interrupted. My girlfriend called to tell me about a nightmare. A woman driving through Texas, red and blue flares jumped out of her rearview mirror. After that, she lived only as dashcam footage, as hashtags and news clippings. Sandra Bland, closer than any daydream. I stayed mostly silent and listened to the woman I love not want to die, not want to be taken away like an impounded car. And if this were an academic conversation, I would have had something to offer. I could hear the need for comfort in her voice, and my mouth was a desert. My knuckles even whiter, such helpless fists, useless watery eyes. The TV replays Black Death without warning. Again, I hope I don't remind her of the gunman, or the gun, or the bullet. For the first time, I am afraid in a personal way. Some man could steal my love from her body, could make a eulogy of our days, of Kaya Lily and her curly hair.
Again, as I said, poetry is not for wimps. We just did the what I'll call it the first third of the open mic. Thank you for all of you staying with me. The feature, I believe she's reciting 6 poems tonight. Yes. As part of her repertoire. I believe the drama accompaniment will come from Mr. Jones. I'm correct? Here and there. I'll be looking forward to that. And again, you can catch all this in case you're like, did I just see a guy propped up on a chair pretending to be a bird? You can go back and check out Stone Soup Poetry. My name is Chad Parento. I don't say that as a bragging right. I say that because that's that my YouTube currently is under my name. And if you look up Stone Soup Poetry on YouTube, you'll see a number of historical recordings from the past. But you'll also see a lot of recent shows from the last ever since about 2007 or 2008, I've been recording shows, and ever since last month, I've been recording the show in its entirety in lieu of losing public access from Cambridge. So you can catch us now every week, and we would love to hear from you. If there are those of you who want to read but don't want to be on the feed, we'll figure out what we can do. At any rate, we will get on to the feature now. For those of you here for the first time, we meet every Monday night here at the Out of the Blue Art Gallery, now located in Central Square proper, Central Square for real, 7 to 9. Check out the Kickstarter page on the Out of the Blue for the Out of the Blue. They're striving for nonprofit status. Everywhere you turn is a person's efforts, a person's work. We're supporting, and hopefully, when they maintain nonprofit status, that'll not just benefit them, but all of us in this room and all of us in this, everyone in this city and beyond. The open mic sign up is at 6:30. The open mic starts around 7-ish. The feature goes on, well, now-ish. For those of you who don't know, a little obligatory boilerplate bio. Navah the Buddaphliii, born Crystal Beck, is a spoken word artist and a native of the South End of Boston. She has been in the game for over 17 years and has written some of the craftiest spoken word poetry. In 2001, True Magazine called her one of the strongest lyricists in Boston. Navah is a captivating performer and has performed all over Boston and Cambridge, from every open mic to the big stage of major venues. Her work continues to appear in such venues as Oddball Magazine and Stone's Throw. Shameless plug? Anyway. In 2014, she joined forces with the collective poetry team called Society of Urban Poetry. Shameless plug? She is also the founder of, to be fair, she is also the founder of Simply Poetry, which helps to showcase the most talented poets in Boston. She is a big supporter of the Stone Soup family and a creator of the Stone Soup Poetry Slam, which is held every 2 months at the Out of the Blue Art Gallery. And oh, lo, coincidence, next week, on November 2nd, we'll be celebrating the last Stone Soup Poetry Slam of 2015, and you're all invited to participate. The cash prize for the winner is $75, and it's part of that effort. Part of that is the hard work of everyone in Society of Urban Poetry: Hannah Brown, Matt Parker, Tuan Fan, Didi Delgado, Hannah Brown, if I didn't mention her, and did I mention you? Shit. Anyway.
Because I'm short.
Stop. And segue time, and this person coming up right now, put your hands together 30, 40 more times for Navah the Buddaphliii.
Thank you all for coming out. I really, really appreciate this. No one's ready. No one. No one's ready.
Keep talking. Hannah likes to interrupt.
Yeah. I usually don't apologize for art, but we're gonna go on a journey, okay?
Yes.
Y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
Always. No passport. Word.
No seatbelt.
Life is a journey.
One-way ticket.
Hey-ya, hey, hey, hey. Hey-ya, hey, hey. Hey-ya, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey-ya, hey, hey. Hey-ya, hey, hey. Hey-ya, hey, hey. I want to be what a man can love. Man is on the outside of what he believes he is in. Man is an earth dancer, knows not his mind, body, or spirit. For when he knows himself, his knowledge becomes cruelty, and he's overtaken by the moment he finds truth. And at that time, he identifies himself as being exhausted by life and what he believes is love. Man doesn't know that life is not surprising, death can't be less than life, but it's unreal. It's a child chance. It's two sides to one coin. Daring and original, dangerously beautiful and ugly at the same time. It's like he's blessed and cursed with a crossed heart that's not quite yet ready to be happy, and a mind crazed like those that speak of a heaven when they don't have a hell to compare it to. Because man's world's an empty dream surrounded by chaotic love. Love best kept at a distance, further than the moon and the sun. Detached from space, and it breaks earth, and it's here where man's able to reach back into time and have a human experience over and over again. This godless custom he can custom to. And for what? Well, he wants to see if he can truly love. And remember what he loves, and not that kind of Sebastian crystal gems, embroidered lies. These unwanted kisses, lies that smile with such belief, love. No, not that kind, and not the kind attached to spawn. Sensual, sacrilegious screams. I'm talking about a love that's more than just felt. A love other than a mirage of echoes, echoes, echoes. A love that will not be unremembered and gently carried by the sands of time. A love that will last forever, like tears that would never dry. I want to see man's fondness for pain turn into power inside a cocoon, and he become the influential butterfly. I believe he's been all along. A man that's no longer afraid to give your homegirl, my homegirl, Mary J, that real love. Someday, I want to be like that. Someday, I want to be more than just nice! More than just unwanted breath. I want to be what a man can love. So this is some new shit.
Wow.
So I have to break it up a little bit because I need some energy, so I'm going to read from this one. God is the book. Life is a page in it. Life is studied and turned, revealing a new page of pages. All this paper in no place to start a fire. A fire of words and dreams to chase. Run to me with feet that are wide awake, and I won't be scared to bleed for you, to dream for you. And I won't dream lifeless about life, coiled into conversation, talked out in a blind study to help you see that God's home, in fact, is make-believe, with no welcome mat to greet you. I guess God just can't let bygones just be gone. And maybe this is why you've never seen his glorious matriarch or heard her voice, but I bet it sounds a lot like the space between a gunshot and a black male body hit by the bullet right before the screams. This is what black feels like. This is how it feels to be an 8th grade suicide poem written in blue ink, triggered solely by life. And since life is so fucking triggering, then my only real competition that I will write words that are weapons. I will write real life pages of myself that are more jazz than blues, more Biggie than Pac, more Prince than Michael. I will write myself out this padded room called my mind. Because heroes can dream too. And our thirst can become hungry. And I learned quickly to eat my words and show me myself breathing in empty possibilities in a place where breath is no longer a privilege, just a means to be necessary. Jesus, I got a life with no religion, and I still turn doubt into rhinestones. Right along with the pages of myself, I will turn page after page like I was Jesus turning the other cheek. And just like Jesus, I can take your dislikes and burdens and turn them into sunsets. I can teach your pain to laugh. See, I know ignorance isn't bliss, but it is kind. And I am kind. But you will call me ignorant. But you're the one who's unaware. If you look too deep inside yourself, you will see the word of God. And I know this because I am half human and half star, and my DNA is all angelic, and that God wrote his first poem in blood right here on earth, and his pen never felt writer's block. He never suffered inside the ink. You know the difference between God and everyone else? He He never starts emotional fires that will burn pages of himself or herself like we do. Woo!
Don't go us like that.
Oh, God. Okay, this next piece is about to take a lot out of me. So, bear with me, guys.
Jack.
Need somebody to catch it, let me know.
Yeah, sure enough will. Go in, poet.
Wading in the water, wading in the water, children, wading in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. I was there, 1777, in a time when there was no peace among colors, in a land that bred slaves that will eventually hang from trees, in a preserved image for all to see, a land where trees just can't be trees and black folks just can't be free. America became a playground for racism and a graveyard for black slaves addicted to running towards a powerful idea I like to call freedom. A land where trees was once known as a national treasure and honored in gardens. They now sit beneath the sun draped in slaves and having messages, and among one of them I can't bear to receive. It's a message indeed of my older brother. He be hanging from a tree. My brother who taught me to stand on the barrel of greatness. My brother who I placed on high pedestals. He's now hanging high under golden sunlight in his father's white shame to show no mercy for his own son, colorful like a tree branch of his own self he refused to see. And I stand there among black raised heads and airless faces whose mouths don't rush to smile. And I ask Mama, why? Why Master hate us? She say, child, you can't get out of prison if you don't know you're in one. Hate is easy. Now love, that's more difficult to create. Mama spoke words for fire for thoughts after watching her son whipped and killed with his father's greatest sin, not to care. And I just stand there and I watch Mama, and she just clench into a Bible whose God remains nameless, a God that don't make mistakes, but he makes choices that help keep plantations in line, choices that don't protect trees or anyone darker or the color of me. But I know trees ain't supposed to hold graves, and peoples ain't supposed to be slaves, and these trees, they got questions we's all afraid to ask. You think trees don't speak, but oh they do, and I hears them. They scream loud, worn out echoes. Remove these dead bodies from me. And we just stand there with our mouths carved into silence, watching our loved ones who once stood in the earth's shoes among the trees now hang from them. But there ain't enough black tears to wash away my father's white feet, and neither one of us can give love to one another under these conditions. But if you guys look a little closely, just a little close, you can see them. My half brothers and sisters, this is all white. And I see their hearts lying in ambush just like mine. I saw a love for their brother they couldn't hide. A love that knew no color. For our brother who wanted nothing more than to heal a nation that struggled over freedom. Here is America, a place where tomorrow remembers you, and I will always remember what happened to my brother. And so many others. I call this Once Upon a Past. That piece was actually inspired by my basement. I moved into my apartment 2 years ago, and the maintenance guy told me no one can go in this door. He said this door leads to the Underground Railroad. He asked me if I wanted to go inside and take a look, and it'll probably be my last time. So I went in, I took a look, and I don't know, something just came over me. I went upstairs, and I wrote that piece. I'm going to do new shit. New shit! This piece is called Crack Cocaine. It's another true story. I parked my car perfectly in available space across the street from the oldest church in the south end of Boston. To the left of me walked a very attractive male in his late 20s that resembled a century turning over in his grave, looked like he'd been beaten up by life. His face told the story of his war, and that he was high on drugs that had psychological credibility which lured him to the purple state of his mind, a place where we learn our fears, a prison for users. Trust me, I know what an addict looks like. I remember my mom before she died. But for the life of me, I can't remember the last time she hugged me. So I wondered, what was he on? And if he sniffed coke, white girl, snowy caucuses, and all the whistles and bells of being high. Then I got out my car, walked towards him, and the way I needed to go, as I passed, he looked at me like I was beautiful and he was mystified. He said in a voice made of high definition, "Wow! Hey! Hey!" And I said, "Hi." Now, from what I can see, he was no different from me. We both reside in the dusk of our minds, a Judas wilderness, a place where I fondle words and find myself. For him, it's a place between the pipe, his lips, and where he loses himself, and discovers the science of angels in the presence of God through a man-made high. I continue to walk down the street like I normally do, reciting poetry about 10 minutes, give or take, until I reached the corner of my street where I worked. I looked down at the ground, and I saw the coolest shadow. It was him. I looked up, and to my surprise, all I could see of his lackadaisical smile and eyes that changed like mood rings, staring directly in my face. I can't help but think, if he can love these 901 eyes staring back at him in my left-handed personality. And was he high enough just to notice the cover and not care about what is said inside the book? Or maybe, baby, he's already read me. I asked him, "Are you following me?" And without a moment to stall, he replied, "Yes." And then he asked if I was crazy. His voice sounded like Wiley sung lyrics. Taken aback, I answered him, "To some, maybe. To others, a spoken word artist." And then he asked me if I wanted to go have breakfast. Puzzled, judgmental, full off of poetry food, I laughed to myself and I wondered, who's paying? See, I grew from a ghetto garden, and I was raised by poverty, prostitutes, and pimps. Money was never the root to all evil, but it was an ongoing problem. And problems make the worst companion. So after the morning laughter, and thank God not the pill this time, I snuck in a question I asked him. "Are you high? And what are you on? Is it acid, ecstasy?" I knew it wasn't weed because I did that. He said it was hard. I said, "What is hard?" He said cocaine. I said crack. Yes, crack. A stone fragment. Those in the trap call
crack rock and a way out. Then there was a pause, and he said, "Come on, let's go get breakfast." I explained to him how life isn't a race, it is a chase, and we all got dreams to catch. And how I would love to, but I got this thing that I just can't shake, and sometimes it just gets in the way. It's called a job. Now, between him being high and me being insane, I mean a poet, I thought him and I would either make the perfect match or a recipe for disaster. So here is where Jesus finally takes the wheel and our conversation ends in a breadbasket. But it's funny though, I didn't even get his name. So now I need crowd participation. Okay? You guys know the song from One Republic, It's Too Late to Apologize? Can we just hit that verse? I know some of you know this song.
I know the song, but I ain't know the song.
Huh? Okay, y'all gotta help me. Holding back your rope got me 10 feet off the ground. Come on, come on.
Oh, I only know that one line.
Hearing what you say, but it just don't make a sound. Y'all better come in on this chorus too.
You gotta say it.
Tell me that you need me, then you go and shut me down. Tell me that you're Come on, it's too late to apologize. Oh, it's too late.
It's too late to apologize.
It's too late. Is it really too late to apologize?
No.
Never, right? So they were wrong, right? Okay, good. Because, you know, I've done things and I want to apologize for it. And I want to be accepted, you know? So, as Halloween is coming, I'm mad random, so bear with me. Halloween is coming. And I want to scare the shit out of everybody in this room right now. Can I try that?
Sure.
I could?
You're in the right place. Sure.
Okay.
You are.
All right. It all started with razor. Did you know this short kind after love? Put your hand over here. And you're not taking life and myself seriously. Not as serious as some people take phases in love. See, I know we all can't chase dreams and catch them. So I'm always careful where I'm dreaming to. And the reality of it is, hell could be a cold afterthought with you in mind. But back to razors in love. I also know rubbing razors in love the wrong way can feel as if you had a brush with death. See, God got it wrong. Love should be barricaded by stone walls instead of hearts and songs. Love is messy and poetic, and it carries a ratchet razor that I often use. Understand, cuts, they're messengers too, and they tattletale and dry snitch. Every chance they get about my anger, my fear, my secret stash of razors to a world that couldn't possibly understand what the hell. Didn't they get the memo? My pain is shy and doesn't want anyone to know that I can't love normal. Just insane and misunderstood, so I stay quiet, barely heard. I've got a voice as loud as silence. And in the bedroom, I make as much noise as a butterfly. Ironic, they call me Navah the butterfly, because when I speak, it's poetic. And there's no safe words, just someone else's slit wrists pouring out of me, all negative, premeditated blood drops that lead a trail of clues to what is really wrong with me, and I confess. I am sick and creative. I'm an angel, covered in blood and nightmares. I am something you can't just go simply for. And I'm tired of pretending not to care. How everyone else is pretending not to see the help wanted sign. My mind holds up day after day and it says, save me from myself. As my fear cry in the background, let not allow well with the space pressing against a cracked window, looking out at people I would like to cut with razors. I wonder, will they let me? God, Cutting is the only way I can slip away from my mind. See, I'm not okay. Let me establish that, right? And it's going to take more than razor sharp words and music that sings to what's between my legs to fix me. It's going to take God. Running from every direction at once just to come and hold me. And I will tell him, I don't know how to stop using razors or the world around me as a mirror, a world that is someone else's heaven and someone else's hell. So sometimes I play the hero and the villain too. Sometimes as I try to pick up the pieces of myself, 5 at a time to put me back together again, and I can't. So I hurt with razors for now, but one day I will hurt with kindness. One day I will be amazing, and I will teach my children how not to use razors and how not to lead love down a path leading to a door that opens up to guns instead of gardens. War has nothing to do with love, but sometimes everything to do with razors. In these razors, they help me walk and chew gum at the same time. But I've seen how love and razors have made some cry themselves to sleep at night and others into a coma. I want to know why. Why love only mess with hearts that are made of light, fluffy marshmallows, hearts like mine. I'm a spoken word artist, and I want nothing more than to waste time being wasteful with words, writing just about love. And the thought of it all, spoon-feeding my mind with unsinkable words that will fill my heart with grace to spare, to where I'm no longer a stranger to myself. See, I'm not exactly sure who wrote the story of my life, but if you took the time to read it, you will see. Love skipped so many chapters, a billion desires that can't be met. A dead mother and a father I've never met. Maybe because love is a place where love is scared to grow and latched on to people who use razors for words. Let's cut to the chase. I'm not trying to cuff you to a bed. I'm trying to cut you instead. Seeing your blood makes it all normal for me, and I thank sex and blood for showing me the part of me I didn't see coming. And fuck anybody that judged me. My life is not easily lived. Eyes are best known for shedding tears, and some bodies are simply adored because they're drenched in blood. So before judging me, try watching the news and you will see. Hurt people hurt people. So I say this to say that I couldn't just hurt you and not look back. And if you was to cry, I would have no other choice to let any tear that fell from your eye. I'm truly sorry and I apologize. And I feel bad, like white guilt, for what the sick part of me done to the vulnerable part of you. And if you find in your heart to forgive me, I thank you from the bottom of mine. And if any of you get a chance to see your favorite group, One Republic, you tell them that Navah the Buddaphliii said, it's never too late to apologize. Love raises. Sing it, guys. Come on, sing it. It's too late to apologize. Come on, it's too late.
Don't you have one more?
All right, one more. Okay, so this is a poem, and I know Chad wanted this week to be Snoop Dogg theme, so but not enough people wrote the poem, so we're gonna have to push that back at another date. So a prompt poem. We had to write a poem using Snoop Dogg's name, but it couldn't be about him, and then you had to use a lot of wordplay. So a play on words with his name. So when I did it, I didn't know where it was going to go, so I called it Leading to Nowhere. Yes. So, because I didn't know where this piece was going to go. But here we go. Leading to nowhere. Rock with me. There is plenty I know little about. But the poet in me, well, she writes my very own poem. It's like my skin tone, nice. It goes, something, 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 this much I know to be true. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can't touch the sun, but the sun's light can touch you. You seem unfazed by that. Well, perhaps you won't be by this. My heart and I, we don't see eye to eye, but somehow we manage to give each other the mean look. We can't live together, but more than that, we can't live apart. My heart is defiant, it bears love scars. It walks back and forth inside my chest behind ribs, caged bars. See, it's known to make poor choices and shouldn't roam free. Well, that's my perception, others may think. God knows best and hid it for its own protection, and that's cool. But my heart is still sick. Make my life go pale and burn at both ends, we'll call that a candlestick. So I'm calling God out to fix my life. You look highly intelligent. Can you tell me the number? You don't know it? Forget the phone, give me his ear. I want to talk directly into the receiver. Line for line, word for word. God, you fix my life, we'll turn all your atheists into believers. See, I love wild ideas like wild stars crying out in the night. But let's not get sidetracked. Back to these words, they're digital drugs. I need to know, are you high yet? No? Well, I just assumed you were because I drugged your mind across the sky. Tell me, you see God yet? What, I gotta write you on a prescription? I said I drugged your mind. Are you high yet? Now I got you thinking. Almost living through a memory. In my wordplay, well, that's a musical symphony, I was told, with a single line. I could reel your mind in. Fishing pole. I love seeing color run from your face. Whose smile am I wearing? Because this smile right here has its own theme music, and it goes like this. I love words, and I pay homage to the vast universe of imagination, paving the way for the next penmanship generation. And my only request is, when I die, bury me with this pen of mine, because I'm still doing my thing underground, like an artist unsigned. Even if I'm leading to nowhere. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. I can't do this without you. I have one. It's another person's birthday. It's Terry. I also got him a birthday cake. So we got cake in the house.
Cake for everybody.
Yes.
You gonna sing?
We already did all that. Thank you, chat.
Go to YouTube. Anyway, come on, put it together for 30, 40 more times. I'm going to be passing out flyers as we continue into the final two-thirds of our, we're calling it two-thirds of the open mic tonight. Hopefully, Mars, do you have those plates you said you were going to get?
Some plates, we got a few.
We're going to hand out some plates. We're going to see if we need to get some more down in Walgreens, but we're going to hand out as many as we can. If you're interested in cake, go see Mars. He'll start cutting the slices. There's actually more than one person's birthday tonight, in addition to Mr. Terry Jones, and thanks so much for your professional accompaniment during the feature. And please come back again soon. It's also the birthday of this next person coming up to the open mic. Again, thanks to everyone. We're pushing a little quicker today because we had to start a little later because people weren't here yet because this new time and the commute over here is a bitch around 6:30 and 7. But we're also doing this a little quicker because there's a band coming on a little after 9, so we're moving forward as much as we can. We're going to try and get through everybody as quickly as we can. Let's welcome up next. Best of all, let me shut up and welcome next the birthday girl, Rachel Eisenberg.
Hello. So I took a bit of poetic license with these pieces. They're actually about a real person whom I hope doesn't actually see the video. But I think the best poetry is actually very deeply personal. So here goes. How does it feel? The tone of his voice said it all. The high-pitched squeal, the intonation of his true feelings. Thanks for coming. Ha! Yeah, right. I thought to myself, though it had been another pleasant Sunday afternoon of bowling, tossing the balls down the lane in a somewhat leisurely manner. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, I said to him, and turned to leave. What I really wanted was to know what the flesh of his lips felt like against mine, the dance of skin against skin, to press my torso flush against his, run my fingers through his dark, short hair, the flood of sensation washing through my body like a coursing wave of visceral pleasure. Of course, it would never happen. It could never happen, even if he did want it to, which he didn't, thank God. Not that he disliked me per se, he just wasn't that into me, and that was obvious. He was saving me from myself, from my desire to ignore the accepted boundaries I knew I should observe, and ultimately, though When all was said and done, it was for the best, as there are some lines one simply just doesn't cross. I have one more, I promise I'll be very quick. Just my type. Cold alone at night in a queen-size bed, but I wondered, was my blanket really big enough for two? What would happen if I wasn't home alone in the dark? It is often those who are closest to you, they say. And I had been alone for so long. It had been a while since I wanted to tell anyone the things I wanted to tell him. Of course, I never would anyway. Never in a million years would I dream of walking up to him and saying what was really on my mind, what I thought, what I wanted. I couldn't even look at him. I couldn't even look in his eyes without feeling a warm sensation wash over my visage, whether the deep pink hue that I felt was visible on my face or not. Never dreaming of finding enough excuses to talk to him, even if I was smart enough to ask questions that seemed somewhat intelligent. It was always the same. The short, dark brown hair, the pale, milky complexion, the sugary tone of voice, the pleasant laugh, a smile that you couldn't help wanting to be responsible for. But I could never say what was on my mind, what was really going through my head, for fear of what he might actually say.
Up next, another of our Stone Soup stalwarts on the open mic almost every week. Let's welcome Lee Varon.
Thanks. How is everyone?
Excellent.
Good. This is old shit, if I can find it.
Old shit.
Yeah. So, I lost it. I'm going to try to get it back.
Lost shit.
It's a new one.
Maybe someone else should go to it. But wait, I'll try. Wait, hold on. Okay, here it is. So,
Old shit.
somebody I was very close to was that I grew up with was a pedophile, and he's died. And I wrote a series of poems to him. It's called Letters to a Pedophile. And this is okay. This is the first one. In the ruins I searched for you, the other person you were. Not the man in a black coat with silver dollars in its lining. Not the one who said, "Come, I won't hurt you. I have lollipops swirled with color. I have paper birds that fly." Not the man who ate children, spread them with lime. Not the one on the front page or any page at all. I find small bits of verse that have your name on them. I find the box of your pain before its lid is shut. I find your startled eyes. And this is another one. I just numbered them, like 1, 2, 3. When the pear blossoms littered the walkway, you were found weeping. Suddenly you realized nothing could be undone. You put the children in small coffins, brought them home, tucked them under your pillow. Your life grew drafty with loneliness. In the middle of the grocery aisle, I bit off a piece of apple, offered it to you, but you were looking in the opposite direction. And this is just a short one. Summer we mimic the chirp of crickets, trudge through snow in winter. When did you become the dark side of the moon? When did you dive off the rim of my heart? When did your longing overtake you? Thank you.
Up next, welcome up Dexter Roberts.
One, two. How y'all feeling?
Excellent.
All right.
How are you?
Great. This is an old shit.
Oh, shit?
Old shit from last year. I was chilling with some Rasta elders, and we was talking about how things connect, the Bible, how things connect. All right. Yes. So it's a new year, but it's always the same shit. I mean, if you understand this, that you will not be tricked. That to get something, anything, you must give something. For anything to happen, one, two, or more things must come together. Know this, my people, you will not be tricked. No ghost stories, ghost world, or ghosts. One day, I met a preacher on the road, waving his Bible, shouting, "You must repent, we must change. As you sow, so shall you reap. Live by the sword, die by the sword. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth." I asked, "Is this all in the Bible?" He replied, "Yes, my son." But if this is true, I asked, if the Bible is right, then the white man has to go into change, right? Thank you.
Up next, Out of the Blue Art Gallery co-founder, almost 20 years ago, alongside Tom Tipton. Some of her artwork is available on the gallery tonight, and maybe on top, who knows. We're running out of room here. Let's welcome up Deb Priestley.
Hi, thanks. I have a book out called The Woman Has a Voice. It's about healing from abuse, which I think most women can relate to somehow, and maybe some men. So anyways, there's a more cheerful chapter of the book. It's called Women Loving Women. And this is one of the poems. It was very simple, but it got published in a zillion places, and I always thought it was interesting. So it's for my ex-girlfriend, Devin. And it's called Wet Morning. She wakes, breasts wet from sweat and mist of evening rain, still pelting on our window. I remember last night, our speaking, with tongues and strokes, our bodies melting into water. We always float gently, limbs dizzy, battle skins, our harmonies no rhythms that talk beyond dreams. Our hips kiss like waves, fill and cry, we belong to this want. Soft, sweet fall, take wing. And this is called Forgiveness. It has some autumn kind of poetry, and I'm a painter too, so a lot of people say that my poetry sounds like a painting as well, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's called Forgiveness, which I thought was a theme tonight somewhere, you know. Whenever she walks to the church, the huge black doors are locked, but the journeying never stops there. With hope in her mind, she knocks, dreaming of holy water and forgiveness. If not this time, then next time. Her frail heart remembers the betrayals, the men she had loved, and how they left her. Her sinking spirit, a star leaf breaking, a love hunger, and the times she left herself. How the faithless can destroy a soul. Her father promised never to hurt her. But then, suffering can be quiet and cruel, displaced, a forgotten struggle, and the leaves fall. But day after day, she checks for light as she rubs her hand over the bruised window and notices the autumn sky in its reflection. Within seconds, she thought of God. She thought of change. Behind her, the trees whisper. They breathe. The wind rests on every root of grass without regret. And within seconds, the sky brightens. No longer empty, the woman kneels on her knees, her heart unafraid. She is receiving prayer. Her tears console her, and she is no longer numb. And one more, this is called Pause, and I believe that with any poem, it's, the way I was taught anyway, is you kind of pause. It's like with painting. You paint, you pause, you paint, you pause. You write poetry, the pauses are also kind of cool, you know? Pause. It didn't snow today, but my face and eyes stings without hesitation. Flurry, feet scurry, no time to sleep. Every intention is designed to chore. Move forward, arms ahead, every word from desperate mouth, spoken breath, bearing no sense, no say. I can't find the snow anywhere, just a mist, liquefying air. I think I am here, but I feel so lost. I think I... Are we being recorded?
Yes.
Never mind. Come to my place. No, I know, that's your department, exactly. I had a hard time. I mean, I would have gotten up. I'm not scared to get up on the mic, but I didn't really have anything with me because I decided at the last minute to come. But there were... have an easier time fitting in at suburban schools than black girls. Now, just to give you a 15-second bio, I moved to Massachusetts from Puerto Rico in the winter in like the worst possible weather that you can imagine, right? And I didn't move to Boston. I moved to a little hick town, population 6,000, 12 people of color, as they say, in the school for my biological brothers. So this is the setting for this, and I'm gonna do. It's called "Oh Shit."
Oh shit! Good.
Now, it's not quite old shit because I've never read it before, and I'm talking a lot because I'm trying to find it now. It just disappeared. I've never read it before, so really it's new shit.
New shit better. New shit.
New to you and new to me too. But I told you that little story about Puerto Rico because it was a bit of, I mean, I am of African American and Latino descent, right? Not Puerto Rico though. I am not Puerto Rican. All the Puerto Ricans out there, hola, ¿cómo está? Pero yo no soy puertorriqueña. Yo soy mexicana, chicana, or as I say, blaxicana. Can you say that? Blaxicana. Blaxicana.
Blaxicana.
Yes, I like it. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, I'm eating up time. But this poem is actually, some of it is true. Most of it is not. But it is about a real experience, though. I mean, imagine an experience of isolation, okay? Complete and utter isolation. Nobody speaks your language. And I mean, I moved back to the States, and I did not think in English. I thought in Spanish. So it took me a long time to answer questions. I had to kind of make stuff, not make stuff up, but I had to kind of translate everything in my head first. I would hear it, and I'd have to translate it into Spanish, think of the answer in Spanish, and then translate it back to English, and then say it. So it's kind of hard, you know? So think about that sometime when you meet somebody that doesn't speak your language, whatever that might be. Muy difícil, sí, así es. Okay. I'm going to give up.
No, don't give up.
You're so kind. I really like this spot. I like the poetry that everybody's doing. I like the thoughts. I really loved Crystal. Did y'all love Crystal? I mean, she's got so many personalities in her words. It just blows me away. I mean, I love it. And that poem that she did, she's nuts, is that what she said? Her poetry's nuts, yeah. She's a poet. For sure. Oh, I really do apologize. I thought it was here. Let's see if I'm in the right one. Has this ever happened to you? Or am I the only one? I afford paper, okay? I can only afford electronic stuff. No paper. The dead trees and all that. I mean, what do phones kill? Can you tell me? Anybody? This is Cambridge, you know these things. They killed people in China? Phones kill, you're right. You're right, they have those sweatshops. Who here has been in a sweatshop? You have?
I've been touring here.
You what?
I've been in a sweatshop.
You took a tour?
Took like a sneak.
Oh, so you weren't like chained to a sewing machine or something like that, right? I mean, I say that, it's not funny. There's a little boy named Iqbal who came to Cambridge many years ago to, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, my daughter's school, Cambridge Friends School. Yeah, he was murdered. He got a huge monetary award from Reebok, and then he went back to Pakistan or some such place, and he was murdered. 12 years old, he was about this tall, right? Because he didn't get a lot of oxygen, he didn't get a lot of food, he didn't have good sleeping. So this is a town that cares about those kinds of things, right? Everybody should care about those kinds of things. So cell phones aren't good either. So that's a long way to say, yeah, I got a cell phone and no paper, but the cell phones aren't good either because people are getting killed in sweatshops. You know, okay, I think I'm close. Be patient, please. Nobody sing that song. Do you know what song I'm talking about? Don't anybody sing this song. Do you know it? Sing that song! It's just gonna make it worse. Wow, this is the longest search in America. Maybe the world. It's close, I'm sure it is. Oh yes, it's getting closer. I've seen that before.
All you boys and girls out there, start clapping your hands. Maybe we can get this over. What are you getting your feet up there? Come on!
You kick me off? You want me off?
No.
Okay, you're being patient.
You found it before, right?
I did. I read it and said, oh, that could work. Poems. Margaret, me. No, that's not right. It's closer though, I'm sure. I have a lot. Does everybody delete their email after they read it? Does anybody do that? I do too. That's why I'm having this problem. We've got okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've got 15,000 emails on one account, and I've got 3. That's bad, right? No, I don't know, maybe I'm an electronic hoarder. Is that what I am? Inbox. It's coming. You are everything to me, oh, you are everything to me, yeah. That song takes me way back. It makes me realize that I've lived a life of just missed. Like, just missed the bus for that important first day on the job, or just missed the exit to the Primo TV internship. And you see, when I was in high school, I just missed performing in the talent show that would have broken my career wide open at 17. It was my American Idol. You can look at this gray here and see that this was way before American Idol. My Dancing with the Stars. My day to make it big while I was young. But my dream was not just deferred, but smashed into a million bits. Because me and my musical partner, we succumbed to the oldest trick in the book. Do you know what that is? The oldest trick in the book? Anybody? Lying? Yeah, well, there was some lying involved, so you're on the right track. No, the oldest trick in the book is getting your opponent to show their hand first. Right? Get to see my hand. So, the competition in the talent show, because it wasn't just a talent show, it was a competition, wanted to hear what we had before we performed, me and my musical partner. And we were in the girls' room. How many people have hung out in the girls' room? Yes? What did you, I don't see guys' hands go up. I know they've been in there too. Well, we used to hang out in the girls' room and smoke cigarettes, right? That's what we did. So, not knowing that the girls in the dingy, smoke-filled girls' bathroom were the girlfriends of the boys in the band, in the talent show. The boys that had organized and rigged the talent show in the first place so that they would win. So we sang, "You are everything to me, oh." And we added all our own little special riffs on the end, and the dance moves, and the finger snaps, and the hand flicks, and the smoke-filled girls' room was completely silent. And then they exploded with applause. They were satisfied for the moment, a whole 60 seconds. And we knew that we were ready for the talent show. Yeah, right. Ready. Little did we know that that applause was our death knell. Quicker than you could say lunch bell or get out of school early, the room was empty except for me and Pam, my musical partner. And clutching our big dreams in our heads, I only realized in retrospect, during the week of the impending talent show, we'd made a mistake. The talent show was canceled. The boys in the band did not want to run the risk of being showed up. So they canceled it. They canceled the talent show. Well, I got something to say to them. It's never too late for apologies. Well, I'm not apologizing. I gotta say this. You ego-centered, macho man, white boys, and your female lackeys. My dreams cannot be canceled. This is to all the nuns in Catholic school that tried to steal my joy with their violence and their brainwash. This is to all those Boston white men in Puerto Rico named Higgins that were friends of my father, telling me that if I couldn't sing on demand, well then I just couldn't sing. This is for all those chorus teachers that wouldn't place me in soprano. This is for all those naysayers that said, why you want to sing anyway? Well, I want to sing.
I wanna sing because I can, because I'm free, because I can, because I'm free, because I'm me.
It's many years later now, and the dream of singing is like a crusty lie folded up in an envelope in back of my favorite book. So many things have transpired. Parents dead, siblings dead, husband exed, jobs quit, lost, fired, turned away from friends, turned into a homeless person wandering the streets of Boston. And now you see me standing in a corner in the financial district with a sign that says, "We'll sing for dollars. Help a music can today."
You are everything to me, oh, oh, oh. You are. Woo!
3 people left on the open mic, 10 minutes left till I think we have to get out and the band people start chasing us and throwing amps and stuff. Anyway, let's bring up Mr. Aspie Chris.
Keeping it to the point, let's see. Okay. I will try to rush through this. I got, in honor of Halloween, let's see. I'm trying. In honor of Halloween, I have a, fuck.
Fuck. That says more for most of us.
There we go.
In honor of Halloween, I've got a monster movie in the form of a poem. It's dedicated to Dr. Dirty John Valby and to George Carlin. Here we go. Long ago, in the innocent 1950s, there came a fateful day in Chicago when an oddball scientist decided to test out his enlargement ray. He thought that providing gargantuan livestock would give the farm industry a booster. And so, to start off with his first test subject, he selected a fine, healthy rooster. The strange device buzzed and hummed to life and shot forth a pulsating beam. The rooster grew to 100 feet in size. This contraption worked like a dream. But the dream was soon to become a nightmare when the creature kicked out the walls, escaped the lab, and bulged out into the world, despite the inventor's anguished calls. He stomped off to the wheat fields of Indiana, where he caused a terrible fright. He pecked at the fields and ate all the grain. Then he pecked everything in sight. He slipped into a drive-in movie and pecked somebody's girlfriend. What could they do? That date was over when she scolded, "That creature is more of a man than you!" Then he pecked a little old lady to death. To say the least, this did not please us. But why'd she die with a smile on her face? Could it be she was off to see Jesus? The nation panicked. "This can't go on! He'll make a hell of a mess! Our nation's food supply is doomed! And so are we, unless we alert the papers and the TV media to get out the frightening news of a menace that's never supposed to be seen, a big, hungry cock on the loose." But the people in charge of the nation's voice were afraid that it caused a scare of Orson Welles' proportions and took that information off the air. And so the renegade rooster pecked on. He continued to cause disruption until years later when he roasted to death in the Mount St. Helens eruption. But meanwhile, a class clown from New York City bore witness to the shameful stain of a nation that buried its head in the sand when an unspeakable monster raised Cain. Bearing witness to this hushed-up tragedy, he vowed that he would someday use his wits to establish the holy gospel of shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Happy New folks.
I need the next poet up right away and a pillow to smother me in my sleep. Just hold it down. Let's welcome up Eric Nelson. Eric Nelson.
How do you follow that, Eric? Don't use bad words, Eric.
Okay.
Every bad word was said, okay, Eric?
All right. Okay. Have a cracker to clear the palate. I remember in high school English class, two of us students had to do a report on a Shakespeare sonnet. And then when we worked on it was the one about my love is how your love is the star to my ever wandering bark, and it goes on to say that you, the beloved, are like the star I navigate by as I travel in my bark. That's the way I read it anyway, because I happen to remember from some book about whaling that a bark was a kind of boat or ship. But that's not how the other student read it. He had the idea that it was about the bark of a tree growing toward the starlight. I, for one, did not know that tree bark grew toward starlight. So even though I thought I was sure I knew what the poem was about and he didn't, we ended up having an oral report that covered both interpretations. However, I think that now I know what the poem really meant. It really means that my love is like the barking of a stray, lost, wandering dog in the middle of a moonless night. It's wandering from place to place in the starlight. It doesn't know where it is, with only the stars to guide it. It doesn't know where to go, but keeps on making a lot of noise. Wandering dog at night says, "I want to come home, let me in." Doesn't even have a moon to howl at, just the stars and the trees and the boats in the harbor. I howl at the absence of the moon I want to howl at. Thank you. 2 more people. The sleeping pills I took during Chris's poem are starting to take effect. Let's bring up Mr. Chris Fitzgerald. Chris Fitzgerald, come on up. And have some cake, please.
This is called Halloween, the poem, not the movie. Halloween is a beautiful creation. Hollywood has distorted it. Halloween is for the 3 to 4 to 11 to 12-year-olds. When you drop the bag and no longer ring any doorbell in front of you, it's over. That's not the age in the Hollywood movies. Usually it's a 15, 16-year-old girl. As soon as you see them in their underwear, you know they only have 1 or 2 minutes of screen life left. I'm not saying I didn't go to Halloween parties at 15, 18, 20, 30, but a whole different dynamic was at work. Nothing to do with Halloween. Say I was at a party and there was a woman dressed as one of Cinderella's sisters, Horribella or Terrabella. If I had wanted to and she had let me, I would have kissed her, be it Halloween, Arbor Day, or Eleanor Roosevelt's birthday. But that had nothing to do with the Halloween dynamic. I will discuss that situation in its entirety next week or maybe the next. This is a Halloween poem. 10, 11-year-old boy is waning years of genuine Halloween activity. He has this continuum of memory in his Halloween tradition. He knows who gives out the big candy bars, the apples with the unpleasant dents in them, whose lights go out early. But he's discovered something else he hasn't told anybody about. One last thing, a word in the poem you might not be familiar with, numismatics, which is a study of collecting stamps and coins. Halloween, the poem, not the movie. I don't think I waited till it was 6 o'clock, though it was dark. Dark gets to a city kid when a motor vehicle from any direction has its headlights on. Dressed in a hobo's outfit, I would bolt out the front door, down the street 1 block. Thence the right. She lived halfway between the turnables. She was 50, maybe 60. Like certain members of a poetry group I was later on to meet, alcohol was her beverage of choice. Well, I don't know if she'd been reading or writing poetry that day, but I do know she had been. After a pleasant exchange of ritualistic greetings, she presented over my head this large candy dish. Or was it a mashed potato bowl? No, it was a candy dish that was utilized as a mashed potato bowl on every other Sunday. In this dish were hundreds and hundreds of pennies, 1 dime. This was in the days when copper was copper, silver was silver, and the little guy knew where he stood in this world, numismatically speaking anyways. I got that dime, sleight of hand can't reveal, ran down those steps and joined up with family and friends to the completion of the festival. But that triple-decker, visited by my lonesome, had commenced Halloween for me. Alas, that treat was a trick. Someone who just recently said she had got a dime, but someone else, he had got a dime. It seems the lady in question had more dimes than Ma Bell. Indeed, Ma Bell herself had been seen on certain Saturday afternoons pitching dimes competitively against the side of you-know-who's house. Oh, you-know-who. Marathon sessions. I didn't have to go there first. What a trick. I showed the world what she was really like. Trick or treat. Thanks.
Closing it out tonight, thanks to everyone for being patient, good sports, what have you. My thanks to the musical groups. This is the last poem of the night. But hey, what a show, huh? It could be like this every week. All we need is you. Chris, you can stay home and watch the live stream. Let's welcome up to close things off, Mr. James Van Looy.
Mercy, pity, peace and love, all pray in their distress. and to these virtues of delight return their thankfulness. For mercy, pity, peace, and love is God our Father dear, and mercy, pity, peace, and love is man his child and care. For mercy has a human heart, pity a human face, and love the human form divine, and peace the human dress. Then every man of every clime that prays in his distress, praise to the human form divine, love, mercy, pity, peace. And all must love the human form in heathen, Turk, or Jew. Where mercy, love, and pity dwell, there God is dwelling too.
Thanks to everyone in the open mic, everyone in the audience who came to participate or hope to be on the open mic, and hopefully will come back next week, or if you just came to listen, another round of applause for Navah the Buddaphliii. Next week, I passed around flyers. The Stonestreet Poetry Slam is taking place. We want you there. We want you there, and if you've never thought of slamming before, this is the time to do it. This is a friendly competition. It's not part of a national anything. There's no clicks, no tricks, just a silly words. We want you there. Thank you. Have a good night. The show's over. See you next time. Everyone take a chair. No one can hear me because everyone's rattling the chairs around. You all just watch me right now and topple the podium over as I scream. All right, good night.
What's that, Chad? I can't hear you over the stage. Like,
I said mic drop, bitch. There we go.
Thank you for a great night.
Thank you, sir. Thanks so much for coming and taking part.